like, notify, subscribe. Cain Revsol is an aggressive fighter, doing high damage and making his targets lose health over time. Cain has 150 health, he is extremely tough and he hits hard. His combo rush of 4 makes his pressure all the more insane. He can capitalize on flushes or bring the pain with his passive. When he hits his opponent twice using a yellow rush in a single turn, he activates Rust Bite, which causes the bleed out status to take effect. For every stack the opponent has, they will lose 5 health for that number of turns at the start of their turn. A stack of 3 means the enemy will lose 5 health at the start of their turn for 3 turns. 3, 2, 1, go! Let's see. What part should I cut off? Yeah! Tear it up! You better take this seriously, unless you want to get hurt. Should Cain stack Rust Bite to its maximum value of 6, he can remove the bleed out status and awaken. Now his Rust Bite will deal full damage in 1 turn. If the bleed stack is at 3, then at the start of the enemy turn, they will lose 15 health and consume all bleed stacks. Cain's Overdrive is an enhancement overdrive called the Overrev. Landing 2 combo rushes on an opponent will build bleed out stacks, making his pressure go from 10 out of 10 to 100 out of 10. Cain's Heaven form is focused on dishing out immediate damage. He's got 2 enders, an opener, a projectile, and a reset. In his Hell stance, he has 2 openers, a reversal, a linker, and an ender. Strengths. Cain has extremely high damage potential. He has a high health pool, allowing plenty of room for error. His pressure becomes overwhelming once Rust Bite starts stacking. In Hell stance, he has multiple opportunities to apply bleed out. Cain's Flush gives him options to set the tone of battle. Constant damage on his turn and enemy turn. He has insane amounts of pressure. Weaknesses. Cain depends heavily on EX skills. There's a huge risk in trying to apply Rust Bite with yellow rushes, as players often guard yellow heavy after the first hit. He has high Eterna costs with low combo value. Cain needs to set the tone of battle in order to be effective. He's a slow starter. Tips. With a low combo value and high cost, starting a combo with a yellow rush can give early pressure for Cain, as players often guard purple on start for low combo value characters. This yellow rush teases the Rust Bite, causing players to break down early in their defense. Followed with a green rush, Cain's pressure goes through the roof. You only need to land 2 yellow rushes during your turn, not during your combo. Land 1 yellow rush, and for the next rotation, don't use any. Study your opponent's defensive habits, and sneak 1 in on the later combo rushes. That would fulfill 2 yellow rushes in a single turn, activating Rust Bite. Bleed out is very dangerous to ignore. Opponents more often than not will be trying to guard your EX attempts. Take advantage of this. If you are struggling to get stacks of Rust Bite, EX flushes with Magma Drive can get you halfway in an instant. It applies 4 bleed on the enemy turn, they consume 1, bringing the stack to 3. That puts immediate pressure on your opponent, but watch your Eterna. It takes half of the maximum Eterna to use. Facing low combo rush characters, use Cain's Heaven form and try to get the Hellfall EX flush. This will lower their combo value by 1, forcing them to either start with Purple Rush or end with a Green Rush, lest they want to have an early turn. Use a Razor Spark to keep their Eterna from high values to further limit the options they have when grounded. Try and maintain 3 Eterna at all times. Take advantage of your high health pool to make more aggressive decisions. If at any time the opponent stops you, Blaze Splitter is a great way to take your turn back. With the threat of a bleed out, your opponent will enter a state of panic on which to guard. In Cain's Heaven form, Hellfall is for the flush, while Hades' Horn is safer to use in the event you can't flush. It costs less, and with no added effects, it's harder to read which to guard. Use Cain's Heaven form to start, and build Eterna quickly with his Hades Sting, into Wicked Eruption, back into Hades Sting. This sequence will bring Cain to high Eterna values, and break down the opponent's defenses early to make the Hell form easier to hit EXs with. An easy Hell Stance Rustbite trick. Rending Hell EX into Authority Tox EX brings your opponent to 3 bleed out. Base Aggressive Slaughter to bait the EX guard and train your target to focus on defending blue. Play a heavy red combo rush and go into Magma Drive. The 50-50 will break down even the most cunning of opponents. Guard the base and risk Magma Drive EX to awaken Cain. Or guard the EX and risk the base 30 damage. A dangerous setup that requires masterful planning. Overrev and Rustbite are separate. Landing 2 combo rushes activates the Overrev enhancement, but you can still land 2 yellow rushes to also apply Rustbite. This concludes the Cain Revsol guide. Train hard and get ready to rev it up as you dice the opponents to bits as the Junkyard Reaper. Battle Eterna.